This might get weird.
Oh, are we on?
Oh!
We are on, motherfuckers!
Cheers, Mamrie.
Hey, Grace, cheers! I was like, how do we do this
I
opening?
forget what our start is.
I normally go first, but well, we're trying new things. We're still under 20 episodes. So.
We're under 20 episodes, and also we usually record in the morning when we're drinking coffee, and now it's literally 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yes, we are recording at exactly 5 o'clock, so of course I went, should we get vodka soda?
Yeah, and we were setting up all the mics and cameras, and maybe we just go, should we get vodka soda? And I was like, absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. I've never heard Grace attest to that shit.
1,000% correct.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to say, because I thought this was so funny before we started recording.
Please.
Grace and I both got sent an audition for voiceover work. We're both trying to do VO stuff for cartoons, etc.
I mean, if you know that we love to do this podcast wearing nothing but grimy clothing, like this is the ideal work environment for us.
Yeah, like
VO.
if this goes to shit, I'm just going to be like a phone operator. I'm just gonna.
I'm starting my own 1-800 number.
Oh yes.
Can you imagine?
Wait, hold on. Remember, this is off topic.
Yeah.
You and I made a video a million years ago, and I don't think it exists anywhere online anymore. But it was called. Oh fuck! It was basically a send up of like a 1-900 number, but it was for people who were heartbroken and wanted to feel like they were in a relationship, and they would call us. We'd be like, if you want 1-800 mundanes.
Oh,
or
wait.
mundanes where we're like, do you want to talk like you've been in a relationship for 4 years?
I very vaguely remember.
Oh, I remember it. Your whole conversation.
Ed Vaguely Jr. Remember?
Ed Vaguely Jr. Oh God, yeah. It was the opposite of sexy talk. Anyway, we both got sent the same audition, and it's for an animated thing where the roles were of dogs. And I thought it was so funny that you said you recorded it and Goose was barking. And the idea that maybe you could get this role because they think that's your bark.
I'm throwing my voice. Yeah.
Like, what if that's your big break?
Oh my God. Can you imagine? I just like hold one of these mics up to Goose and then I tell her the mailman's there and then I go, I just nailed it. Yeah.
Totally.
Ugh. Can you imagine?
Yes. That's why I thought it was so funny. Oh man.
Okay. First of all, we've had an insane week.
God, we have.
We last,
Tuesday.
Now is a week ago from today.
Exactly 1 week ago.
We got invited. I think we said this on the last podcast. We got invited to go down to Orlando to talk to WWE superstars.
It was fucking nuts
about building a social media presence and wrangling their brand, etc. And it was I didn't process it beforehand.
Me neither.
I should have.
No, because we weren't given that much information, probably for our own good.
Yeah.
But I knew we were going to the training center. I knew we were going to be talking to some wrestlers, but I didn't realize it was going to be 150 wrestlers.
150 Clydesdales in a room.
Like, honestly.
We walked in and they were all just in their prime, working out. We looked muscles throbbing. We looked like idiots.
We looked like two children running through Sequoia National Forest, like just looking up at these trees. But what I didn't realize is that the wrestlers were going to be a variant, like, not skill set, but like far along in like NXT and WWE. I thought we were going to be talking to like some whippersnapper fresh out of high schools.
Yeah, we thought we were going to be talking to some very green personalities, and these were pros.
Green giants.
Yeah, these were green giants, but also like pros.
Professional wrestlers.
Yeah, and it was so intense and so extreme, and like you whispered to me as we walked into the training center, you were like, I'm nervous. And I was like, when you're nervous.
When I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. I was already nervous, but to hear that you're nervous makes me 10 times more nervous.
Because this was the first time they'd had someone to come talk to them like this. This was a new program. And they're just trying to fucking train. And now it's like me and you walking in there with our thumbs up our butts, just like, like, this is how you Instagram.
Yeah, we walk in and we go, you got to consistently post, even though we don't do anything that we're telling you that you should do. And they could not seem more bored, even though I think that they were genuinely listening.
I think they were as well. I
felt like every substitute teacher I've ever had in my entire high school experience.
But specifically the substitute teachers that throw out I'm a cool teach.
Yeah, that try to teach you.
I'm a cool teach. And then we got like just blank stare. It did feel like we were talking to high schoolers. But then after we left, I said to you, I was like, these people are 10 years younger than us, at least. You're not an up-and-coming wrestler when you're 35.
The median age is 24.
Yeah.
And we were all like...
They're just massive, but they're much younger than us.
Yes.
So
they're big but little at the same time.
Yeah, big and little. It was really cool, though. My favorite part before we got there was the plane ride there.
Oh, I have this in my notes.
Okay, this is how you know that Grace and I are officially on this podcast together. Because
when we stop talking to each other.
And we're both on our phones, but not texting a man.
It's not rude. We're literally taking notes on our phone for a public situation in which we are both experiencing at the same time. We wonderfully thank you to the WWE.
Thank you, God bless.
They flew us out first class, which was...
Where it's where we get our best stories.
And so we were sitting in like the second row of first class, and there's two people in front of us. How would you describe them?
I would describe the male as a white rapper.
I think he's 22 or 24.
I'm going to say maybe 22. Freshly drinking, and I'll tell you why. In a minute.
Yes. He's 22 because found out later that the girl that he talks about is way older than him.
Okay, now you're building the story. You're jumping.
Sorry. I'm getting people excited about something.
I'd say he was a white rapper. He had a really like big diamond watch on, and he also had
you had a better angle on it.
He had a tattoo under his. This
Girl,
is what got me.
I was directly behind him. No. I could only see the woman next to him. Okay. I couldn't see his face.
You describe the woman, then I'll go into him.
Okay, the woman is everyone's stepmom. Everyone's stepmom that lives in Florida.
Absolutely. Now this gentleman has a tattoo under his eye that says "No Name," and it's red.
I didn't see that at all.
Okay, this is what got me into eavesdropping on their conversation. Is that I'm looking and I'm like, I gotta read what the fuck his face says. And the woman, everyone's stepmom, goes, "Oh wow, that must have hurt."
That's how the conversation started.
And he goes, "Yeah, I've gotten it lasered 3 times. I'm trying to get it off. That's why it's pink instead of black."
I heard that. Yeah. My notes start with her saying, "What is that? Does it say you found God? And how did you find God?"
No. She says, "Why are you getting tattoo removed?" He says, "I found God." And she goes, "Or did he find you?" Yeah. And I was like, and that's when I looked at Grace and went, "Oh, well, we are both writing down notes."
And we both went claws deep into the pleather Delta cushions.
You know what I love though is that there's so much circulating air on a plane that this is almost like a game of telephone. Yeah. Where you might have heard things differently than I did. So give me the breakdown of facts.
I had no idea that he had those facial tattoos.
Yes.
He looked like every social media
boy
influence.
Named Brian.
No, everyone that works on TikTok right now, or whatever that app is.
Okay, put a pin in that because I don't know what it is. So we're gonna have to come back to it.
I don't know what it is either. We can't come back to it because I don't know what it is.
Well, here's what I got.
But no, he said, my notes say that she started asking him like what he does.
Yes.
And he started talking about his music.
Yes, he makes music.
And then he asked her, "What do you do?" And she said, "I make
children."
Babies.
Yep. He said, "I make music." "Oh, really?" "I make babies."
Yeah. And then we found out 4 hours later that the rest of her children, like 4 of them, were all in the same first class with her husband. Rich? Back in the back.
How are you that rich?
Yeah.
Okay, but here's what I got, and then that's pretty much when I clocked out. Is after she said she makes children, and the flight attendant came over to ask about drinks. He ordered, and I quote, "Disaronno on the rocks."
I know, that's what I have in my notes too. He ordered Disaronno
on the rocks.
What age are you actually?
That's why I'm like, this kid is 22. If you're ordering amaretto on the rocks, specifically Disaronno, like what? Where?
He literally saw the commercial in the airport before he got on the plane.
I was like, that sounds like a liquor. Clock it to memory. You're going to sound like a grown up.
But then I have that the flight attendant said, "I don't even know what that is."
Yes.
I'm going to say, "No, we don't have it."
And I know they do.
And then he just goes, "Okay, can I have a Jack and Coke?"
I know. He was just naming stuff. Absolutely.
Literally naming stuff. And I know for myself, when I was 22, I specifically exclusively drank rum and Diet Coke.
Because you didn't have to say any brands or anything.
And I didn't know anything about drinking. And so it was like the easiest thing to order.
But let me say, his face specifically says "No Name." But his liquor preference is very specific about names. I'm like, are you getting that lizard off so it could say Disaronno? So stupid. So the only other thing I listened to in this conversation of my favorite, I could have watched them for hours, but then we were taking off and it was loud, is that she said, you know, when they're talking about his music, she said, did you have a show out here? Is that why you were in LA? Yeah. And he goes, no, I was getting veneers.
Wait, what? I missed that part of the conversation.
And then he showed her his teeth. We have not even started taxiing.
Wait.
He said no. And she goes, oh, you came out to LA for veneers. And he goes, they're the best out here. He came out to Beverly Hills to get veneers.
Oh my God. Yeah. I have in my notes. Okay. So
I love the notes. Like we're professors and we just conducted a study.
This is also gross. Like, don't hang out with us because this is what we do now.
Yes.
My notes are MILF and God Kid are the two people that are talking.
MILF and God Kid. I love it.
MILF says, does that have alcohol in it after he got his Jack and Coke?
Yes, bitch.
She literally just turned over and goes, does that have alcohol in it? And that's when I was like, oh my God.
There's some tension. There's some tension.
Here we go.
I thought you found Jesus. Yeah.
And then also, this is previous to me realizing that her husband was in the row behind us with her daughter. Right. And then her other children were in the seats adjacent to them. And then she goes, my notes say MILF later.
Oh no.
So you're in an open relationship? Because they started talking about his girlfriend, because turns out he's 18, she's 24.
Wait.
I have that in my notes. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but I quoted myself on it. So he's 18. His girlfriend's 24. That's why he's ordering Di Serrano on the rocks, because he saw one commercial one time, and that's what he thinks adults
ordering alcohol on the plane when he was 18.
And
that's balls. But I guess if you have a face tattoo, a diamond watch, and fresh veneers, people don't know any different.
But this woman, this beautiful MILF, asked if he's in an open relationship because they were talking about it. And I think you were writing your script. And I was like, I'm in now. And he goes, we're kind of in an open relationship. And so...
Did they go fuck in the bathroom?
That's what I literally was grabbing her arm being like, this woman wants to fuck this kid.
Oh,
that's
my
before
God.
I knew that her husband was a row behind us.
Was like, no, Daryl, sit a row back in case I get lucky.
He literally, his girlfriend's 24, he's 18, and they sort of have an open relationship, and that's what she was asking about. She asked him, 1, if he had liquor in his drink, and 2, if he had an open relationship. And I was like, this is insane. And then her daughter, who was probably 13, came up and started talking to her, and I couldn't tell if she like recognized him or something was happening, that I was like, this is confusing. And then, when we landed, remember when we landed and she was talking to her husband, you clocked it?
No, she goes, there's my husband. Hey, princess, get my bag. She called her husband princess. It's like, if he couldn't have been more emasculated with the fucking denim cargo shorts he was wearing. Ooh. Here we go. They were probably all going to Disney World. But if anyone knows a white rapper stationed in Orlando with no name tattooed on his face, maybe, we don't know if he's had more laser sessions, let us know who it is. Another thing I saw on that plane, which killed me, is there was a man adjacent to us who was like a big dude, a big older man who was just like slinging drinks the whole time. At one point, I'm always interested to see, because I watch the news on flights and stuff when I'm not working.
Sure.
But there's always, when you're like flying to the south and whatnot, a lot of Fox News on there.
Yes.
So I watched this big man watch a story on Fox News. Literally, Grace, the title was Racism and Knitting Exposed. Racism in knitting.
And knitting exposed.
And yeah, it was a Tucker Carlson story last week. You guys can fact check me. Yes, they were exposing the racism in knitting culture. And I was like, who is this motherfucker watching Fox News, like Tucker Carlson, the worst shit ever? And then I found it ironic, because then he turned on Bohemian Rhapsody at the end of the flight. But you know how I told you there's, at the end, there's like a 20-minute concert, Live Aid they redo?
Yeah.
He rewound the concert 4 times. I watched him watch an hour and a half
of a fake
Rami Malek pretending to be Freddie Mercury, and I was like, this guy loves. But like
4 times
just
over.
very confused. I wanted to tap him and be like, that's a gay man, right? You know, that's
that's
a gay man you're rocking out to. Anyway, it was quite the flight for the ages. Wow. I really enjoyed it.
It was truly, I mean, and the thing is that the conversation, that, no-name tattooed kid fell asleep. This is all within like 30 minutes of us taxiing, and then he fell asleep for 6 hours on the flight.
He pulled out a matching face mask and pillow.
I thought he had put his hat over his head.
No, matching face mask and pillow, which probably we should have looked harder. It probably had his like Instagram handle on it.
God bless. He was showing her his YouTube videos of his single
video.
And she was really rooting him on. It was a true testament to I don't even know. Just like I don't know. It was the one thing I realized too on that flight and the flight on the way home, because I was editing a video, and I hate editing videos on the flights because I feel like people are looking the same way that we're looking at these people in the seats in front of us, and I kept being like, I wish that this gap between these chairs was like closed.
There should be a tiny curtain.
Yeah.
We should sell tiny curtains to go between the fucking
a stand-up curtain that you just literally it's a suction cup that you can put in between your two seats.
2 little clothespins. 2 little clothespins with like a pendant flag triangle.
Yeah, because I was editing because I saw this woman in front of me. It was clearly her son was sitting behind us, and I was like, he's got a full like line to my laptop, and I'm gonna edit myself talking nonsense about like the Oscars for like 6 hours.
He's gonna clock who you are, find this podcast, listen to us talking shit about his mom. So we will leave that story at that.
We will
leave the story at that.
Fully supported. Okay, here's my other note.
Are we still on the flight?
No.
Oh, I was like, this story is gonna be as long as the damn flight.
No, we're in Orlando now. We're in Orlando now.
Cool.
Ginger, homemade limoncello.
Oh, you guys. We went after we talked to wrestlers who maybe didn't give a shit.
After we talked to very, very physically fit 24-year-olds.
We were like, we need martinis.
We've deserved it.
Which, because we told you the farting troll wasn't out on the weekend, so we decided not to do Downtown Disney or anything because it was the middle of rush hour and we were on the other side of town. So we just went to a nice steakhouse with our friend Katie, and we're having martinis. We're doing our thing, and we have this bartender Ginger who like.
Well, we also so Katie's from Orlando, and she took us to this steakhouse that she's like, I've never been before, but it's like a place that I've always wanted to go, and they're very like well-to-do, very like they take care of you in a way that makes I felt underdressed immediately being there.
But we sit at the bar. We're casual, common folk.
Cash com.
But we have, like a flirty bartender named Ginger who's in her 40s who's definitely worked there forever and was like hot shit back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
She was awesome. I loved her. But
she's perfect.
After we have a couple drinks and we're liquored up, she comes over and she brings us each this like vial of milky white substance.
Yes, she gives
and we're
us
like,
she
like a bud vase.
And
it's
also,
like a bud vase
but this is
of
also,
cloudy stuff.
Yeah. This is also like we haven't put in our dues. Like we've been here for like 40 minutes.
Maybe.
Had maybe like 2 meals amongst 3 of us, and like we're not staying long term.
We 100% had starters as meals.
Yeah, and so I don't know why she went under the bar into a dark like corner and then like produced these milky containers for us.
So we're like, "Hey, Ginge, what's this?" And she goes, "That's my homemade vanilla bean limoncello." I'm like, what?
It came out of no. We weren't even done our drinks. We all had full martinis.
And I was like, oh. And so she, of course, watches us take a sip. It's, God bless her. It's very sweet.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. I don't like limoncello to begin with. And the last thing I want is some melted vanilla ice cream in there.
Limoncello makes me break out in hives. So I literally,
fantastic.
Yeah, I was taking one for the team for Ginger in that moment, being like, I would like to continue eating my meal, and also I would like to continue the drink that I have also
already ordered because that's what I wanted.
Yeah, but I will have your dark corner limoncello.
Yeah, your hooch. Your hooch.
I don't know where this came from and why this is your specific.
Look, no, the only time I want to drink something like homemade hooch is if I'm in jail.
Yeah.
Like full on if it's my birthday and I'm in jail. I mean, God bless her. But I think the thing that was most fucked up about it isn't the taste or the gesture.
It was
It's
fine.
that she gave us so much of it.
It was too much, and it was the wrong time of the meal.
Yeah.
We were still eating.
I was eating a caprese salad, and she gave me vanilla and lemon syrup.
She had just refreshed our martinis and then was like, on top of that, here's some cloudy milk.
Here's some cloudy milk to toke on. Oh, God bless her.
I mean, it was great. It was super
wonderful.
fun.
I had something happen to me directly after we recorded our podcast yesterday.
What?
I mean, last week.
What?
I texted you and I was like, oh my God, this just happened. Like you left, you walked out the door.
Oh, yes. Tell
Goddamn
me.
critter corner, bitch. Okay,
Sorry,
be careful
I
with
got
the
excited.
levels.
No, I got excited.
Everybody listening, are you okay?
No, I got Critter Corner stuff too. Yeah.
Okay. I had a critter corner happen to me. You had just left. As we know, my backyard, there's a fence. It got fixed. The critters can't go under. However, so nothing can penetrate these walls. You know, it's like,
Supposedly.
well, Penelope, if she got loose and came over here
If
and
she
she
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid Man's right through. Our favorite way to describe Penelope. No, but squirrels like to walk around the edge of the fence like
Right.
it's a
Tightrope
runway.
walkers, yeah.
Exactly. And so Beanz has a little couch under. Well, I have a couch and Beanz sits on it. I didn't buy Beanz a tiny couch.
Spade a spade, yeah.
But Beanz sits there, and then the squirrels will run way
Tease.
across, and she'll go crazy, right?
Yeah.
So Beanz is chilling on the little couch. I come out there, and I see a squirrel perched on the fence 2 feet above her head. She's oblivious to it. Like she will smell a squirrel from 4 miles away.
Yeah.
She's oblivious to the squirrel right above her. The squirrel has an entire orange in its mouth. I mean, like a full navel orange. Like if you opened it, it'd have the little baby oranges in it too. Like it is fully matured, if you will. And I'm like, Beanz, are you not going to bark? I'm like motioning. Beanz is oblivious.
This is the moment, Beanz.
I'm like, what the fuck? And then the squirrel with a full orange in its mouth, like fully bigger than
full
it,
roasted pig, yeah.
starts climbing the tree right there. Climbing the tree, climbing up like directly above Beanz. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I was like, Beanz, come on, come inside. Let's eat. She wouldn't move. I go pick her up, walk 4 feet. The orange drops directly where she was sitting.
Whoa, the squirrel was trying to kill
The
Beanz.
squirrel was trying to kill Beanz.
No!
I'm sure it was an accident and those tiny squirrel teeth could not hold the weight of that navel orange anymore. But that squirrel fucking Indiana Jones bouldered right where Beanz was. And I was like, this squirrel is like a like suicide bomber for the rest of the squirrel community. And it would have killed Beanz. And if it didn't kill Beanz, it would have it maybe would have broken her neck, but totally would have given her a concussion.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fucking crazy.
First of all, oh my God.
Here, it bounced so hard off the ground that, I have like the 2 stools that are pushed together as a table. It got stuck in between the 2 stools. Like it had heft. I took a picture. I'm going to put it on Patreon.
Okay, first of all, oh my God.
Right?
Second of all, this harkens back to the funniest, most dangerous moments in the Palm Springs house is that looking at that tree with the pomelos or whatever,
The huge citrus,
this giant grapefruit mystery fruit situation, that we were all sitting out there in silence having a totally calm time, and then just saw the dead wrecking ball weight of a grapefruit pomelo drop to the ground, and you just went, that would have killed Beanz. I was like, I laughed, but I was like, that literally would have killed Beanz if that fell on her. And now you have vendettas. You have
these squirrels are coming for her ass. I mean, and also I was like, Beanz, are you hypnotized? Why are you not barking at this squirrel? And then motherfucker
do you think she's in love?
No, I think they drugged her.
Oh, okay. I got 2 words for you. Bear spray.
Bear spray. I'm getting the bear spray for these fucking nihilistic squirrels. So that I was like, it happened, and I went, I can't believe that just happened 2 minutes after we recorded.
What do you do? Can you get a little like helmet for Beanz?
For Beanz?
Can you get like a little body like?
I don't. Do I just put her in a full like medieval times night suit? How do I keep this precious thing protected?
How do
people have children? How do people have children when I'm like worried about this 5-pound dog?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't. No.
Those are things you have for life. Like, I'm in charge of Beanz for max 10 years. You know?
I know. Yeah. Goose has some weird lump on the top of her head that I've just been trying to ignore, and I think it's a wart. I thought it was a tick for a second. I was like, oh, well, this is never going to happen.
Ticks are scary.
Super scary, but now it's like turned weird, and so I'm just kind of...
That sounds beautiful. You're really painting a gorgeous picture for the listeners.
Yeah. Can't be an adult parent. Okay, speaking of parents and children and like raising kids and etc.
Oh God. Things get crazy when we record after 5.
No. Okay. Two things. I have 2 notes that you know one of these. Okay. So the first one is when we were coming back from Orlando, I just kept to talk about this because I told you a little bit about it, and then I was telling it to Elliot and I was like, I can't, because we had to fly out at like 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was very early
and we kind of tied one on a little bit with Katie the night before. And so I just felt like I wasn't processing in real time, and I got TSA pre-check and I went through. I hate that I'm laughing at this, but this was the most insane thing in hindsight that I'm like, what the fuck happened there? So you're going through TSA pre and like everyone's kind of like, you know, rushing and it's whatever and it's totally fine. And then all of a sudden there's this elderly couple. They're probably in their 70s and they're kind of like holding up the line, and it's confusing as to why. Mm-hmm. And then this woman is kind of limping, and I thought, oh, she's waiting for a wheelchair to get through the, you know, whatever. And he's helping her. And then I look, and she's wearing full on like Best Buy employee khakis. Okay. And she is bleeding through her shin onto her khakis. And she seems totally fine. Not bothered by it at all. She's just walking around. I just assume that she's waiting for a wheelchair, and her husband's like kind of shuffling around, like waiting to help her get in a wheelchair to go through the whatever machine. And all of a sudden she kind of turns and I see a full, it looks like someone shot her in the shin. It's a full gash and then blood dripping down her khakis. And you can tell she's like embarrassed by it. But all of us are just like, what the fuck?
No, you're embarrassed if you like period through your pants. Not if you all of a sudden have a war wound.
It came out of nowhere. It came out of, she put all of her stuff on the belt. And then all of a sudden she started shuffling around. And then was like, oh my God, she's now bleeding through her shin. And the woman that was the TSA agent, God bless her soul, she was obviously not prepared for this and just kept saying, mommy, I'm sorry, mommy, stay there, mommy. I literally was just standing there going, I don't know what to feel right now. This woman who is probably 77 years old is literally bleeding through her khakis right now, and everyone around me doesn't know what to do, and we're all just sort of like shuffling back and forth to try and create.
What happened? Did she pick a bug bite?
I know, that's the thing that I was like, I don't even know how to like handle this. I'm gonna let everyone else around me handle this. Yeah. I'm just gonna stay in my own place. I just know
we go to get on a little shuttle to the gates, and you just go, that woman's openly bleeding. And I was like, wait, what? Wait. Because for some reason I didn't have TSA pre, so I had to go with the commoners.
But so she's bleeding through khakis, which are the worst pants to bleed through because it's a, direct color change.
Of the top pants to bleed through, I'd say they're down like 6 or 7.
Corduroys are number 1. They absorb all of it.
Oh, I'd say camouflage. Because then you could be like, this is actual dried blood from my surface.
I would say red pants. Anything
red. I would say pants lined with absorbent cotton.
It was, and the fact that she didn't seem like hurt or like nothing was hurt, like it was, the blood was so intense that I was like, oh my God, who did this to her? And she's just kind of like bopping around like everything's fine.
I can't talk about it anymore. That shit grows me out.
It was so insane that I was like, I can't process this right now. And then like all the TSA agents are scrambling because they've never, like, this is not protocol. Like it's not normal that every morning at 7 a.m. you get a 75-year-old woman that's like have a bullet wound in her shin that she has to go through the machine through.
See, my normal line, I had the TSA worker that it was clearly first day.
Oh yeah.
And so everyone's bags, when it comes, your thing your tray comes out, and you're waiting for it to be like.
And then you're waiting for it to get pushed to the side as if it's dismissed.
Yeah, the goose eggs in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory when it's like, is this a good egg or is this a shitty egg? And then Veruca Salt falls through because she's a bad egg. It's like that, and you're like, oh, here we go. Like, am I an asshole and I left Jell-O in my bag? Like, what did me in? There were like 20 bags backed up and none actually getting passed through. So it was first day. And I was like, I know mine is they're just going to wipe down my laptop.
They're going to say that I wrap my cords weird and it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. This girl in front of me, she got her bag checked. You know, like 2-pound Cadbury chocolate, like candy bars, like the biggest candy bar you can get at a grocery store?
Yes.
Pulled out 8 of them. And I was like, whoa.
Well, that's like my mom leaving Joshua Tree and thinking she could pack on her carry-on an actual 10-pound rock.
Like, that's a national offense.
They go, you can't put this in your carry-on bag, ma'am. My mom just goes, I collect rocks, though.
Your mom was that woman that someone else at security is like, this woman tried to sneak a rock through.
Tried to sneak a bowling ball
Everyone's
sized
like,
rock.
Mommy, you can't take this rock.
Mommy,
you can't take this rock.
Your shin is bleeding. Let me get you new pants. We got a Spanx store in the airport if you need it. But the other thing I wanted to say about the airport, my other note is poodle body bag backpack.
You guys, we landed at LAX and we went to wash our hands and like take a pee. And we've all seen like the baby Bjorns with a dog in it. It's fine.
Yeah, we've seen the strollers with dogs in it. Right. We've seen the multiple ways in which you can, you have Beanz the way that you can carry a dog.
However, most of the time when it's like a carrier for a dog on a human, it's either in the front, like kind of like a sling, or it's in the back like a backpack, and the dog is facing the same direction as you. Yeah. Like a kid riding your back. Like Yoda.
Yeah.
Right. No, this woman had a baby Bjorn backpack with I'm going to say full-size poodle turned outward. So all its limbs were sticking out like those stuffed animal Garfields that you would put on a back windshield with suction cups.
We literally,
is that dog dead?
Mamrie tapped my shoulder. We were in line for the bathroom because we both got off the plane and we're like, we have to pee so bad. This is all we wanted to do. And then we're getting in our respective cars and going home. This is like the end of our night. Hooray. And then literally she tapped my shoulder and I looked like 20 degrees to my left. And then I just saw what was, what's it called when you die and your body does that like
rigor mortis?
Yeah,
I was going to say the same thing.
It was a poodle that seemed to have rigor mortis out of the back.
But it was also on her back. It was baby Bjorn. It was on her back, so like she couldn't check.
Was it an actual baby Bjorn?
Yeah, or like a dog carrier. But I don't think she realized it's supposed to go on your chest so you can like comfort the dog or like check in. No, that dog was just like that dog had its arms out like Jesus saves, and its legs just like what the fuck,
saying I'm available for adoption to any other respective human.
Any takers. Again, I took a pic. I'll put it on the Patreon.
Oh, it was.
I forgot about that fucking poodle.
I was so tired getting off that plane. I had to pee so bad, but that really brought me back to life.
Can I tell you, you peed quicker than me. I can't. Humble brag.
All right.
I'm a slow peer. I came out. Poodle was still there. The woman had hair utensils out and was doing her hair. So not only did she have a full poodle strapped to her back, she was taking the time to redo her hair. Like whoever was picking up from the airport, she wanted to impress.
To be fair, that poodle seemed like it was Weekend at Bernie in that baby Bjorn.
I wonder if there's cocaine in that poodle.
I truly was like, that's not a real dog. That's a fake dog.
It's a real dog, motherfucker.
That
was insane.
It was too much when we landed.
Okay, a couple things.
Give me the couple things.
Oh, well, here's what I wanted to bring up here in case people hadn't seen my Instagram or whatnot.
Yeah.
Is when we were doing a podcast for the Pervs, which is one of the tiers of our Patreon, which you check out, patreon.com/thismightgetweird. Mm-hmm. We do a monthly podcast with one of the levels called the Pervs. Yes. And during it, I showed Grace how... back in the day, when I wanted a retainer in middle school,
oh my God,
what I would do is me and my friends, I wasn't alone, we would like unfurl a paperclip, bend it to be, a crescent moon.
Bend it like Beckham.
Put it in our teeth and pretend it was a retainer. So I posted screen grabs of this. Yeah, Grace was like, what the fuck?
But also Nick, who, you know, works on everything for us and behind the scenes, he was on your page.
Oh, I've done this before.
I've never ever heard of this.
Never heard of it. Here's the deal. So I put it on my Instagram and expecting like a couple people.
Oh, you
to know what's
started
up.
a full cult.
You guys, everyone did this. The amount of materials that, okay.
How do I not know? Look.
Did you have braces or anything, or did you have nice teeth?
I tried. I squinted my eye. I told you the story about how I got fake glasses and that my bitch 4th grade teacher called me out and told me that I didn't have glasses.
Wow. That's fucked up.
But I used to I wanted glasses and braces when I was in 4th grade. So one, I was too much of a dork to actually just like, you know, fuck up my eye test.
Yeah.
Like, so I would squint so hard.
And they're like, your eyes are closed, ma'am.
Yeah, but I would squint so hard so I'd actually see different letters. So to me,
you weren't lying.
I wasn't lying.
Oh.
And then I got glasses in 4th grade. And in hindsight, going back, I remember when I was in college, I went back home and they were literally clear plastic. Like it was, I feel bad that my mom, who couldn't afford to pay for 3 kids, had to pay for like fake glasses for me.
Oh my God.
But then they would give me headaches because obviously I didn't need a prescription. And then there was one time in 4th grade that like I would forget, quote unquote, to wear them because obviously I didn't need them. And this one teacher, Mrs. Birch, she called me out. She was like, Grace, do you not have your glasses today? And I was like, oh no, I forgot them. She goes, how can you forget your glasses if you can't see?
Damn, Miss Birch.
And I literally was in the middle of the class and I just like full red face, just like totally embarrassed and was like,
you're a fake nerd.
This is even my real teacher. This is my like, we had to switch classes for one class, social studies and science, to get ready for like high school. And so it was like, that was my teacher that I had for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, she was that substitute calling that shit out.
Oh, it stayed with me forever.
I had the opposite. I finally took an eye exam.
But you had braces, right?
Well, no, we're still talking about eyes.
Okay.
I had an eye exam and they were like, you're fucking blind. And I was like, everything's been fuzzy forever. I was like, when people say, oh, trees have leaves, it's not just like green matter.
They're not just gyrating constantly.
I got glasses, immediately broke up with my troll of a boyfriend. Had no idea.
She was dating an actual treasure troll. She had no idea.
His name was Brad. He looked like an Atlanta Brave.
I thought he had a belly button piercing. Yeah. It was an actual like
jewel.
gem.
It was a jewel. No, I got clear braces, just the top to close my gap when I was in 8th grade. And I only had to have them for 6 months.
Okay.
So I had a retainer after that. But this one I was pretending to have a retainer. Like before I could, my mom was like, yes, we'll pay for you to get your gap teeth closed.
Sure.
But everyone in the comments of the Instagram is
they're
saying,
going fucking nuts.
They're like, I'd use metal bangle bracelets. I'd do it with a bobby pin. I did this with paper clips. I'd use a fruit by a foot piece of plastic as the top on the top of the roof of my mouth to be like the plastic part. Let's see. Everyone's like, we would sell these in our class.
Okay, this seems like its own DIY forum that you need to initiate.
All the different ways that people would do this. I mean, everyone's just like, I thought I was the only one. I have way more comments on this than normal.
Angela Kinsey got in there.
Angela Kinsey was like, I did this exact same thing. A few people were like, I would use gum wrappers or aluminum foil. That seems a little dangerous. But who am I to judge?
I would use gum wrappers, the metallic gum wrappers.
This person says, yep, you do that, then you got to add a starburst stuck to the roof of your mouth for the gorgeous lisp. I would mold the tinfoil tops of yogurt to the roof of my mouth and teeth so it would look like braces. I mean, it is just the amount of little girls who would pretend they had disabilities.
Yeah, what is the draw?
Because it's like a new fun. It's before you're wearing accessories.
It's accessories. That's exactly what it is. It's not a bracelet. It's not earrings. You can't get piercings. So it's like, it's literally the only medical accessory that you can get.
I mean, Judy Blume would have books about like people with back braces and things like that. And this was like a little, a little bit of thing that, you know, you want to be like, oh, I need something. So it was the best. So I appreciate everyone who, you know, camaraderie with me. That's not a fucking verb.
Let us know on our Patreon.
Yes.
If you guys have any other unique ways in which you DIY'd your own braces and or some sort of medical issue that you wanted when you were younger. Because you're not alone.
What a fun forum. Tell us about how you used to fake things for attention.
Tell us how you used to fake your ailments.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay. There's some good ones. First of all, I'm not looking at it, but someone did post. I mean, the amount of ingenuity people go through. We were straight up MacGyvering our retainers. This person was like, I would take the twisty tie off like a bag of bread to keep it fresh, pull the paper off of it, and then that wire within the twisty tie is more easier to shape than a paper clip. So they'd use that. Jules Loves Pizza says, I'd use the plastic tabs off a milk jug. Rebby O says, I used to eat Tootsie Pops and then use the stick as a retainer.
Oh my God.
I mean, the amount of things, it was just, it
Tiny
was crazy. Twizzlers, those were my attempt at a retainer. I'm like, that was a better idea than me. But anyway, it was just.
That's insane.
It was lovely because, as you know, I've been obsessed with Pen 15 on Hulu.
I know. I have to check it out still. Yeah.
But it's of that age or probably like a little younger. And all this dumb shit we used to do as kids. And then when you get older, you're like, oh, we all did this. We were all figuring it out.
Oh, yeah. When you feel like you're being a solo weirdo and then you realize that everyone else is doing the exact same thing that you're doing, but they're maybe doing it better or weirder than what you're doing.
Well, one of my favorite episodes of that show is when, like, it's one of the leads, when she's on the floor doing something, when she realizes, like, oh, this feels good to hump.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And, you know, the first time you were like, what the fuck is this?
What is this sensation in my body?
And do I tell someone this looks weird? I don't know, but the arm of this couch is my new seat.
This armchair has soft corners.
Yeah, it's good. I remember, sorry, this is getting personal. I used to like be in the tub and I'd like play mermaid. And I would like let the water just run on my vagina, spread eagle, and be and be like, oh, and have no idea that was dirty. I had no idea. And I'm sure my mom walked in to like make sure I was done bathing and be like, okay, honey, and be like, I'm playing mermaid. I'm accidentally masturbating. It feels really good. When you put your china under the water, Mom.
You put your china.
I didn't call it vagina. I called it machina.
Machina. It's in a closet, and you don't want any bulls thrown in there.
That's
oh my God.
my send up to how lovely.
Well, I mean, this is
that a good note to wrap it up on?
Yeah, this is a good note to wrap it up on, and a good note to let everyone know that like we're about to record our bonus podcast, which will get more into these sorts of conversations. If you don't know already, we have a wonderful, thriving Patreon page, patreon.com/thismightgetweird, and like a wonderful community of you guys have really created this for all of us. And so once a month we create a bonus podcast based solely on the questions that you guys submit to us.
Yes.
And we get nitty gritty, dirty. No, not like that's the only thing that like jumped me off of like that. I'll
take this back to one.
No, I have I have questions that people have submitted over Twitter that are very in line with what you were just talking about.
Thematic. All right, sweet. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We do have a show in Brooklyn at the Bell House on Friday, April 5th at 7:30. There are still tickets available, so go check that out.
It's almost sold out. Go. Please check it out. We are really excited about doing live shows.
And we're also going to be at South by Southwest in Austin next week. You can come see us do a podcast for free. Just go check it out. We have all the links on our Instagrams,
and it's through Patreon. Hannah will be there. Try Guys will be there. There's a bunch of other amazing creators that are going to be down there.
Good old time. So, all right. Well, this definitely got weird.
Yeah. No, this definitely did.
That was a deep memory.
We need to leave.
That was a deep memory.
We need to leave. Save it for Patreon.